fuck I felt. But I felt very scared. I didn't want anybody to see what was going on or know what was going on. And so I told them nothing was going on. Not a good idea, by the way. Make it vocal. Make yourself seen, make yourself heard, and do not let anybody convince you that you do not deserve to be seen or heard, or that being seen or heard won't make a difference, because it will. Your story deserves to be told. You deserve to be heard. And don't let anybody make you feel like you are somehow abusing somebody else by putting the truth out there. They can deal with the truth. If they decided to act in the ways they did, then they can deal with public recognition of what they had done. By the way, that guy's name was Brent Mehring. Weaponized fear and intimidation makes you feel like you can't escape. No one is there to help you. You are alone. They are more powerful and you have to follow orders. And you feel like you can't get away. There was a couple words that were blurred out on that because it got a little wet at some point. You may have dealt with people who used fear and intimidation tactics, people who really caused you to feel like anything you did or anything you said was just going to blow up on you instead of them. Nobody was going to believe you. Nobody was going to hear you. You were going to get in trouble for whatever happened, or you should be ashamed of yourself for whatever happened, or you were to blame because you didn't say no. Like, say my molester when I was a kid who, after fucking 2.5 years of molesting me, told me that I need to say no next time. And guess what? I did say no the next time, and he didn't stop. Which is also why it was hard for me to say no later, because what's the point if they're not going to stop anyway? You should still say it, and you should still fight against it, because there are worse things in this world than death. And some of you guys are learning that there are worse things in this world than death, and sacrificing yourself is definitely one of them at times. At this point, I would rather die than to allow that to happen to me again. Let's see what else we have. Socialize with others. We learn by doing. And when you socialize with others, when you're seen, when you're heard, when you're out there, when people know who you are, you're a lot safer in a lot of ways. Safety in numbers in some ways. Don't let trust issues get in the way forever. Ask for support or help and be with those that you admire. Listen to the perspectives of others. Call people that you love. Do some gardening. This can help you get grounded, and it also gives back to the earth as well. Plant some trees, food, or flowers. Get your hands and feet in the dirt. And a lot of you could definitely be working on your root chakra too. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier, but your root chakra has a lot to do with your confidence, your self-esteem, your self-respect, your ability to set boundaries, your ability to say no, your ability to demand respect. You deserve respect, and don't let anybody make you feel like you deserve anything less than that. Self-soothing can be very effective. Find a self-soothing technique that doesn't hurt yourself or others. Walks, jogs, hiking, warm blanket, cocoon, a nice fire, music, shower, and stuffed or real animals to cuddle. Learning how to soothe yourself keeps you from feeling like you need another human being around to soothe yourself and validate your feelings. It keeps you from reaching out to people who may not be good for your own health, or who may, some of you could be having some problems with hypersexualization, or feeling like you need to be needed to be validated from the outside in order to feel good about yourself, or in order to make it through the traumas that you have gone through. And you really need to find a way to self-soothe yourself, to where you don't have to rely on others for that, to where you don't feel like you need something outside of yourself to feel good. That can be really hard to go through. And I applaud you at being here today to learn, to grow, to heal, and working on it, because it is a hard thing to work on, but you can overcome this. Trust me, you can overcome this, because guess what? About a month and a half ago, I went out with somebody who bought me a couple drinks, and we were alone in their house, and they were wanting something, and I told them no, and they went for it again, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm out of here. And I turned around and walked out the door. And you can do that too. Volunteer somewhere. It helps you to feel needed and appreciated, and it also helps those in need. It gets you out and interacting with some good people too. And also, some of you could be feeling like if you say no, it's going to turn into a worse nightmare situation. Who cares? At this point, who cares? Because not saying no is hurting you far more. when you get out and you are around people, you really start to meet people, you start to interact with people, you start to feel good about yourself, you start to feel good about the world around you. You start to see that it's not only bad people in the world, but there are good people in this world too. Volunteering is a great way to do that, and it really gets you being around people that are of a higher quality and people that are really good for you. And it also gets you around people in a safe environment so that you can feel confident before you start going into environments where you may not feel as comfortable or as safe. But facing those triggers is something that you will have to do along the way as well, so that you're not stuck living your life in fear. PTSD, responses triggered from past pain, trauma, or abuse, a need to feel safe and comfortable. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Set healthy boundaries and express things that make you feel comfortable. Test triggers in a safe environment to change responses only if you feel ready to it. That's what I was saying. Once you feel like you are confident and comfortable being in situations that some people might claim are unsafe, or it's your fault that you put yourself in that situation, no. You're going to have to be in life. Life is a situation. You can't just hide away in your house for fucking ever. And if you have, I'm sorry, I don't mean any offense. But getting out there in safe, comfortable places is going to make you feel better when you end up in situations that are not so safe or comforting. Like, say you decide to get a taxi home, and you end up running into issues with the driver or something along those lines, and you never expected that. It's not like you put yourself intentionally in a harmful situation. But what do you do if you do get into that uncomfortable situation and then you end up in a triggered PTSD state instead of being able to think clearly or act the way that you would act when you're feeling confident or strong? And the way that you do that is by slowly working your way up to it and facing those triggers and overcoming those triggers, so that when you face those triggers, you know that you're going to be okay. And knowing that you're going to be okay gives you that confidence. And that's the whole thing, is you can heal these triggers, but the only way that you can heal these triggers is by facing these triggers. Otherwise, they're always going to be there to haunt you, and you're always going to feel like you are this victim to this abuse instead of this survivor who is now thriving. Social anxiety, ground yourself. We learn by doing. Take it slow, praise yourself on your growth, take the steps that you know are safe, go to a place where you don't know the people and you may never see them again. You can be freer in that environment, and if you feel like you failed, you can get up and try again. You never fail unless you give up. You deserve props for trying, and it is hard to do this, and it's okay. Anything new or worth doing is always hard. And so that's pretty much everything that I talked about in here. I love how it all went together so well. And every pile did that. And it's so great to know that my intuition is so on point and that my energies are so in alignment with what's going on in this situation. I love that. It really it backs up that you are here for a reason. And that these are the ways that you can really help to heal yourself. The world, the wolf, the snake. So it's time to break the cycles and the chains of the past. It's time to shed this old skin, to step into your leadership, to know that you are a leader, that you are born and bred a leader. You are somebody who really can end the cycles of the past and have this brand new beginning. You may even be wanting to travel the world, learn more about different cultures and different things. And a lot of that is going to be halted by your inability to be able to get out and meet people and talk to people and explore and be curious, because of the fact that you feel like you are unsafe if you do that. And the only way that we can learn is by doing. And the way that we teach others is not by controlling them or by forcing them to do things. The way that we teach others is by leading by example. So the way that you're going to be able to help people around you the best is by doing these things yourself, learning these things yourself, and showing them how it's done. And that's what you're learning how to do. You are also possibly exploring your different religions or different spiritual beliefs and things like that, and really deciding what is the best path for you and what brings you the most peace. Some people find peace by going into Christianity, and as I have explained to a lot of people, I found peace by leaving Christianity, especially since most of them believe that you're an evil temptation who tempted this man into taking your innocence and virtue, or woman, because there's a lot of men who are abused like that as well. There's a lot of men who are abused that way too. But basically women are very guilted, shamed, and feared and intimidated, and just it's fucking nasty the way that the Christian religion is a patriarchal society made to really support men and disintegrate women. And I'm sorry if you're Christian, but that's the way I feel about it. Ideas of partnership: making choices, playfully taking action, healthy, vital, strong, choosing your path, going after goals, moving forward, and glancing back. So you guys are making the decision to really create new partnerships in your life. You're making choices. You are playfully taking action. You're doing a good job here. You are really noticing how healthy you are, how vital you are, how strong you are, and you are leaning into that strength, and you're really moving towards your goals. You are really just doing a fucking phenomenal job. You are overcoming a lot of obstacles and a lot of pain and a lot of hardship that has been in your life, and you guys need to know that you are doing amazing. That you guys are also having ideas of partnership, and you really need to make sure that the people that you're going into partnerships with are people that are going to be okay with taking it slow and at the pace that you have in mind, that are going to be okay with things that bother you in the bedroom. I have a really big issue with people biting me down there because of the man that molested me as a child. And you know what? There are those people who respect that boundary, and there are those who do not. And also, the only way that we can heal triggers is by facing them. So that's the way it is. But anyway, energetic, massive growth, taking chances, learning to open up, go-getter, learning what you want and understanding your passions, very focused, perseverance, quick speed, attractive, and passionate. So you might even be learning what you want sexually, what you enjoy sexually. You could be coming out of that shame and guilt energy and the fear and intimidation. You could be coming out of all of that kind of energy, and you're coming into this energy of exploring, being curious, learning your body, learning what you like, what you don't like, learning what you enjoy in the bedroom, and being able to explore that with your partners. And you're really doing fucking amazing. You're doing amazing, because some people never really do open up to any of that because of the hurt and trauma and pain they've been through. And you guys are doing fucking amazing. Let me just tell you that you are really having a lot of massive growth right now. You're really understanding yourself better, learning yourself, putting in the action and effort required to really grow and to unfold and to really bloom into who you are, and no longer accepting people who are not going to be respectful of who you are or what you want, or who are going to make you feel guilty or ashamed of who you are, what you do, where you go, how you dress. You're really starting to tell them that it is not my fault if somebody attacks me, it's their fault if they attack me. You may not be able to control the actions of others, but you can control the actions of yourself. And at the same time, the actions of yourself are not to blame for the actions of others. So that is what I have for this pile, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading, and I would absolutely love to hear from you in the comments below. I would love to hear your story. I'm sure there are a lot of people who would love to hear your story, so they know that they're not alone, and it helps you to heal to tell your story. It helps you to grow to tell your story, and it helps you to see that you're not alone, and it helps others to see that they aren't alone. It puts you in a position to be able to receive support for what you're going through, and it really supports others too, just to voice your story. And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you guys have been through, what you guys are working on, and I really would love to hear about your ideas on these things. And I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye bye, guys.